Welcome to episode 577 of AI Brief. I'm your host, and joining me as always is my co-host to help break down today's news.
Hello, everyone. Really excited to dive into this one.
We have a packed lineup for you today. We're looking at AI models literally stepping off our digital screens to control factory robots. Then we're covering the dueling desktop voice upgrades from OpenAI and Anthropic, plus a rapid-fire look at the business side of AI, and we'll finish off with the top productivity tools you can start using right now.
When you look at all these updates together, the overarching theme is just how rapidly the gap between generating digital content and interacting with the physical world is closing. It's completely collapsing.
Let's get right into today's new updates, because that bridge between digital and physical really starts with this massive release from Black Forest Labs. They just opened early access to FLUX 3.
Oh, this is the one everyone's been waiting for.
Yeah, it is. And the specs on this visual intelligence AI are just wild. We're talking about generating full 20-second video clips, but it's not silent. It features native, perfectly synced audio, multilingual dialogue, and this is the big one, perfect typography.
That typography element alone is such a massive hurdle cleared. AI has notoriously struggled with spelling words in videos for years.
And it handles text, image, and video inputs. So based on the internal testing, it's consistently outperforming rivals like Runway, Kling, and Grok, Imagine.
Well, Black Forest Labs usually moves at a much slower, more deliberate pace. But this unified system is a massive payoff. It really brings back that visceral sense of awe we had during the early Sora days.
But the piece of this that is truly staggering is their open-weight model, FLUX3 Dev. They actually partnered with the Zurich-based company called Mimic Robotics to build FLUX Mimic. And this is the exact AI currently working on Audi's production lines.
Wait, so the same model making 20-second video clips is steering heavy machinery?
Yes. It's like, imagine a digital brain that has spent its entire existence trapped in a jar just visualizing imaginary worlds, and suddenly it's given a physical body. And because it understands physics from making videos, it only needed 30 minutes of demonstration data to learn a new factory task.
30 minutes? That is insane. In traditional robotics, programming a nuanced task takes upward of 30 hours.
It's an incredible leap.
It really is. Visual models are rapidly becoming the fundamental cogs in physical robotics. Because if an AI can predict the next frame of a video of a glass falling, it basically already has an internal physics engine.
So it knows how gravity and friction work before it ever touches a real glass. That actually sets up a perfect pivot. We're moving from AI interacting with physical environments to AI having natural, real-time conversations with us.
The dueling voice upgrades.
Exactly. Well, OpenAI and Anthropic launched major voice updates simultaneously. OpenAI's ChatGPT voice, which everyone calls GPT Live, is hitting macOS and Windows desktop apps. If you're on a paid plan, you hit a custom hotkey and it pops up. Plus, it integrates with codecs and ChatGPT work.
And there are pretty credible rumors that this exact low-latency tech will power OpenAI's upcoming home speaker hardware.
Which would be huge. Now, Anthropic's update dropped the exact same day. Claude's voice mode is now live on Opus and Sonnet, and it connects directly to Gmail and Slack.
When you compare them, though, the technical gap's pretty obvious. Claude still heavily lags in the mechanics of a natural conversation.
How so?
It relies on that rigid, turn-by-turn speaking cadence. You speak, it processes, it speaks. But OpenAI's GPT Live operates on full duplex communication. It listens, thinks, and replies simultaneously.
Oh, wow. So if you interrupt it, it pivots instantly.
Just like a human.
Yeah.
But it's fascinating because many heavy users were actually holding their breath for a Claude 5 Opus drop or those heavily rumored OpenAI speed upgrades. So Anthropic still ends up feeling a step behind in the voice space here.
That makes a lot of sense. So we've covered the big front-end updates, but it's time to zoom out. Let's look at the macro business and development news across the AI landscape today. I'm going to explicitly hand the floor over to you to take the lead on this rapid-fire section.
Sounds good. Let's start by measuring the pulse of the broader market, which includes some serious geopolitical tension today. The White House's Michael Kratsios publicly accused Chinese lab Moonshot AI of distilling U.S. models.
Meaning they're using high-quality outputs from U.S. models to train their own cheaper ones.
Exactly that. He specifically named Anthropic's models as the targets.
Which critics are calling incredibly ironic, considering U.S. models rely so heavily on data scraped freely from the open internet without permission.
It's a very complex gray area, for sure. But moving from data to pure compute power, Google just dropped their Q2 earnings, and the numbers are staggering. Alphabet revenue jumped 24% to almost $120 billion.
That is a massive quarter.
But the real story is Google Cloud. That revenue soared 82%, hitting $24.8 billion. And they shipped 3 new models, Gemini 3.6 Flash, 3.5 Flashlight, and 3.5 Flash Cyber, all designed for cheaper, dependable enterprise agents.
That 82% jump for Google Cloud is the ultimate proof that the massive billions spent on AI infrastructure are actually translating to real revenue.
Which perfectly explains the hardware startup scene right now. US AI chip startup Etched just secured $300 million in fresh funding, hitting a $10.3 billion valuation.
And their total funding is over $1 billion now.
It's just wild. Moving to acquisitions, Cognition bought the Interaction Company, so they are integrating the SMS-based agent Poke alongside their software agent, Devon.
That's a serious expansion of their agent ecosystem.
Definitely. Over on the talent front, Canadian mathematician and 2026 Fields medalist Jacob Zimmerman is joining OpenAI to work on AI safety.
Bringing in the heavy academic hitters.
For sure. Also, Microsoft's superintelligence team dropped 2 in-house models, MAI Image 2.5 Pro and MAI Voice 2 Flash. And finally, Runway launched Media Writer. It auto-selects the best model for a user based on whether they prioritize cost, quality, or speed.
That Runway update seems incredibly practical for developers trying to manage costs, but let's actually bring all this down to the individual user. I want to break down today's trending AI tools and give you specific use cases so you can apply them in your own life.
Let's do it.
First up is AnySearch. It gives you structured, real-time search from trusted sources. If you are doing deep dive market research and need to aggressively fact-check claims, this is your tool.
Oh, avoiding AI hallucinations is so crucial for market research.
Absolutely. Next is a utility called isvisible. You enter a URL and get an instant visibility report. Perfect use case here, running a rapid SEO audit on a brand new product landing page.
Marketing teams will definitely appreciate that speed.
Then we have context. It crawls any URL and extracts structured data. So imagine you need to pull a competitor's really complex pricing tables into a clean spreadsheet. Context does it instantly.
No more manual copy and pasting.
Never again. Fourth is FLUX3, which we covered earlier. As a consumer tool, you can use it to instantly generate a 20-second B-roll video clip with sound to elevate a corporate presentation.
A huge upgrade over generic stock footage.
For sure. Next is Poke. This is that proactive text message agent from Cognition. Say you're power walking to the train with your hands full of coffee. You just text your agent to pull up your calendar and reschedule your next meeting.
It essentially turns your SMS inbox into a command line for your life.
I love that framing.
Yeah.
We also have health in ChatGPT today. You can securely link your medical apps and records, so you could cross-reference your daily workout and sleep metrics with your recent lab results to spot hidden health trends.
That is a massive step for personalized preventative care.
It really is. And finally, GPT Live, which is that natural voice model now on desktop and codecs. If you're a software engineer, you can now dictate and debug complex code entirely hands-free.
If you really want to maximize these, I have a workflow hack. Try chaining context that web scraper with GPT Live.
How does that work?
Well, you use context to scrape incredibly dense website data, like financial regulations. Then, you pipe that structured data directly into GPT Live on your desktop. Because it has that full duplex voice capability, you just speak to your computer and ask it to analyze the scraped data out loud.
Oh, wow. So you're turning a standard computer into a fully interactive conversational research assistant.
Operating at the speed of your own thought.
That is such a powerful combination. Well, that brings us to the end of today's deep dive. But before you go, I want to leave you with one final thought. We started today talking about how rapidly AI moved from generating digital images to physically steering Audi factory robots.
The pace of that leap is just staggering.
It happened in the blink of an eye. So, considering that trajectory, take a look around your own physical environment. What manual, real-world task in your daily life do you think will be the next to be completely automated by these physical models?
Thank you so much for tuning in and exploring these developments with us today.
If you found today's breakdown valuable, be sure to follow this deep dive and share it with a friend who needs to stay ahead of the technology curve. See you in the next episode.
See you in the next episode.